is action. It's not just made by Buddha, right? Buddha is a great teacher, great human being, loving, filled with the love and the compassion, want to help the thinking beings. But he has a lot of wisdom, filled with wisdom. That wisdom says that certain actions, if you perform, it's not good for self, it's not good for this time, even if you think it's good for this time, but it's not good for the futures. It's killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, cheating, lying, and so forth. Those is it. If we do these, then it makes troubles. It's a result, it's suffering. What we have right now in our life situation is a result of the previous our actions. It could be some actions relate to the many generations, lifetimes. Some is related in this time. Then, generosity practice, discipline practice, and this positive, helping someone else, generating love and kindness and the compassion, part of the positive actions. The Buddha sees these actions, it's good for you, it's good for us. If you do that, then that gives a positive result. Everything is just related to the cause and the conditions. That's what we call karma, action. Actions matters in our life. Goes right directions, wrong directions. We have to strengthen the actions. And so, the way things are, okay, not in accord with the way things are. Often when painful situation occurs, there is automatic blaming. This is usually people do, automatic blaming of someone else or something outside of ourselves. The Buddhist method, when such a situation occurs, is to begin by looking without blaming internally at our mind. Very often, what we find is that we ourselves place the bird is making us bug under our saddle. Contemplative meditation, we want to become more like the lion, the dogs, following knowledges. To hear the Chenchen which is quote, and we are not just always blaming someone else. It's looking at one's own mind and actions. And also you can read this, the lion and dog analysis. And the idea is that it's very good for the meditation. When we meditate, and we have to look at mind itself, not chasing the thoughts. If you're chasing the thoughts, thoughts brings then another thought, thoughts brings another thought. It's like the rock or stake throw to the dog. Dog is not attack the person. You don't know here in the yak hunters have big dog. When they attack you, then if you throw something, then they're chasing the just stake or rock. That's similar when we are meditate. If thoughts comes up, oh, these thoughts, oh, I want to stop this, and then I want to stop this. It's endless. And if you look at thoughts itself, then dissolve it. The line, as here is a line, if you throw the stake, the lines, it's not chasing the stake, it's attack the person. The cut of the source of this. Awareness, okay, yeah. I'm not going to read it all. The big secret to happiness is that once we are free from the misperceptions, lots of misperceptions makes troubles, and emotional obscurations that cause problems. We find that the pure self, we were born with it, is naturally happy. We won't need to add anything to create happiness. That's why lots of Dharma practitioners just sitting, meditation also brings happiness. If you meditate regular, long enough something, sometimes there's not much reason you're filled with kind of blessed and happy. And real connected, your mind and the heart and the body is mind together. Yeah, the nature of our mind is enlightenment, but right now, this is covered by mistaken concept and negative emotions. When these are completely dissolved, enlightenment, which is ultimate happiness, naturally occur. Both temporary and ultimate happiness are the result of our actions. So we have to create the cause for this happiness through our body, speech, most important, our mind. The goal of becoming more happy and peaceful in everyday life, the goal of enlightenment, are closely connected. It is another paradox that in order to be deeply happy ourselves, we must care about the happiness of others. The best way to achieve temporary and ultimate happiness is to develop the bigger view. The first step is motivation, bodhicitta, which is the heart field which to help all sentient beings become enlightened and so attain ultimate happiness. Awakening the strengthening bodhicitta is the path of the bodhisattvas, who are great beings dedicated to benefiting others. Then we have here happiness checklist. So, yeah, bodhicitta. Do you have any questions here? Oh, okay. If you want to make you happy, then here, see. Appreciate that being human is the best possible birth in the world. Be content with the good things that you have. Choose to have a neutral attitude about unpleasant events. Do meritorious actions to lay the foundation for a happier life. Do no harmful actions. Change your motivation to seeking upliftment and happiness for others. Free yourself from misperception, negative habitual patterns, and disturbing emotions. Discover that the pure self you were born with is naturally happy. Okay, so that's first chapter. I think I'm not going to read it all because we don't have the time. The next second chapter is Thinker's Guide to Enlightenment. This is the idea of what we have right now. Our mind is pure, it's not a peace state, even itself. Nature is like that state. But right now, we have lots of thoughts and concepts that we have to use it, proper way of using it. That's why I call it Thinker's Guide to Enlightenment. Think thinking and the conceptual mind are not a problem. The problem is the way we get hooked in our thoughts and emotions. This is contemplative meditation, and also resting meditation, you know, it's similar. This thoughts is not a problem. Thoughts is just part of mind activities. Like heart is always beating, similar. It's nature. Thoughts comes, goes. The problem is that we are just hooked and chasing thoughts or strengthening thoughts. If we do that, then that's the problem. I think there's Tilopa and Naropa as one famous quote saying that sun, appearances is not the problems of abiding in the samsara. Abiding in the samsara is grasping these appearances. Some caught of this grasping of the appearances. This is just poorly, you know, translating just spontaneously. But meaning is something like that. This all appearances is nothing problems. When we grasping, then we are tied in the samsara. As long as these faculties, this kind of a mind, then this appears. There's nothing we can do it. If you close eye, you go to sleep, still another world, you are arrived. We have two worlds all the time. Day, when you go to sleep, this all day world is gone. But then in the dream, another world is another round. Yeah.
Question about the grasping.
Okay.
What causes us to grasp when we say we find something or somebody agitated us?
Okay.
Why we keep bringing it back to our mind? I mean, that's a grasping. Why we do that?
Oh.
Even though every time that image comes up, we feel agitated, but yet we keep bringing that image up.
Okay.
What causes that?
The first, we have me, the mind. And also then we have patterns. It's always grasping. The patterns we have grasping. And someone, when you see it and agitated, because you first time that's occurred, second time, third time, now it's just familiar with it. When you see that person agitated. But Dharma practitioners, this is not the problems. Maybe it's an opportunity you can work with it, these agitations. It's a great opportunity raising the compassion toward the person. Or it's an opportunity to look at your mind. How is this agitated hurting you in one's self? Many Dharma practitioners, it seems it's an obstacle, but it's not really an obstacle. It's really strengthening your practice. That's, we have to work with it. That is the problems. Yeah.
So, I mean, all those problems can be solved if everyone can always stick to the pure view that you see everyone is like the relative of Papa Sambhava.
Okay.
Or it's karma that they have been your previous parents. So if you can stick to that kind of pure view, will resolve, you know, the agitation and things will be gone. Of course, talk is easy.
Yeah.
Said and done.
The pure view, you know, that's that Gachara Musin, you know, always everyone is like happily playful and cheered with everything, you know.
teacher one time that said, you should pretend that you're in a club.
Huh?
I had a teacher one time, he said, you should pretend that you're in a club. And everybody is here just for you. And they're here so you could test your mind on every situation that ever comes up.
In a club, a night
It's
club.
a club. You're like in a group, that there's a club
Lots of members.
with lots of members,
Yes.
but they're all here to see, to test you, to see when opportunities, when you see a conflict, how do you turn it into an opportunity for your mind? And that everything that occurs is actually occurring just for you at this moment for your, for you to turn it into an opportunity.
No, actually that's true because all the work is from yourself, right? Actually for you, you're right.
And pure perception, yeah, this is another way of saying that this is someone did something for you, inappropriate behaviors, that's what I'm talking about, inappropriate behaviors, or sometimes family, complex, friends, or something happened in your life. And many Dharma practitioners, they're using is that maybe I did similar for them in the previous lives. Now it's just turning or ripening the karma. Maybe now I don't have to go through it again in the future lives.
Another way is like a decimal Akonglama way, trying to say.
And,
The one give you a hard time is actually the lawful Pamasambhava to you.
sure.
To purify your karma right now. So
Sure. And other is that training of one's mind. I thought something. Oh, think about it, like 7 billion people. Some particular is related to you, it makes troubles. Why that? There are 7 billion people, right? Some particular this is tied to you. That's just in the Dharma teaching saying that you have karmic connections. And it's related to the past.
And then repeat not just one line, maybe another 50 lines, 100
That's right.
Continue coming to get you.
Yeah, right. Now it's just ripening. And samsara is that if someone did something to you, if you repeat it, did it back,
Worse.
then makes worse. And that's a samsara. It's endless. The violence, the bad is not going to end. The sun, showing the result. It makes worse and worse. That's a samsara, how it started. And sometimes the small situations, and if you, the person who did me this, that you are doing similar, the unproper behavior back, then back and forth, it makes lots of trouble. Many families, friends have that problems.
That's what ISIS is about, The ISIS, I mean, they that's from because you get a revenge, and become like nowadays.
Sure. Yeah.
So what you're saying is almost like the Buddha and his cousin, Devata.
That's right.
Facing a lot of problems over and over again. But the thing is, if we think them as a test, to test our mind and control and, our view, but then, Devata seriously caused some big problem. Divide the Sangha and all stuff that
That's
you
right.
mentioned this morning, how did the Buddha try to solve? Because, you know, he tried to just let it be, but it really, the Bhakti keep continue.
That's right.
What to do?
Okay. This also, this situation is not at this time, Devadatta and the Buddha, they also have troubles in previous lives too.
Yeah.
And Buddha, when he was the Siddhartha, of course they have competitions, but always compassionate toward the Devadatta. Devadatta, he had big troubles, ambitious person, aggressive and selfish, always holding the throne and something, you know. To achieve this, then he's try to, it's not as carefully. And he has lots of opportunities, but he don't take it, he don't see it that way. He makes it bad himself. You know, he thinks he's making better something. But then, the problem is that he's already have bad view of the Buddha. He sees Buddha is not special something. Always jealous, envy arising. That's the big problem. If even Buddha's teaching is not, it doesn't work for him. And of course, Buddhism teachings that Buddha doesn't have power to eliminate his troubles or sufferings. It's one of his teachings saying that your negative deeds you can't wash by the water, and he can't, the Buddha, he can't eliminate it or abandon the sentient being's suffering or remove suffering by his hand. And also he's saying that he can't transmit his realization to the students, the sentient beings. But he has only one method, that is to teach how to do it. Then liberation is up to you, up to us. We have to do it, we have to go through it. But Devadatta have troubles. He's already hold a bad view of Buddha. They already spent many times in the young child, the competitions. He always planned to fail the Buddha. Make a lot. It's not naturally something, make a plan and try to fail. He worked with Ajatasattu. He's very aggressive. Later, he's become Buddha's disciples. Try to kill, make trouble with Buddha. But Devadatta is a big troublemaker. And then he became, bhikshu. The Buddha know it, but yeah.
Yeah. So the Devadatta can memorize all the Buddha's teaching, right, sutra. He wants to start another religion, and he can memorize all the Buddha's teaching,
I don't know all the Buddha's teachings, but he has a lot knowledge because they have been same school educated together, and he has similar features of the Buddhas, and he has a very strong. At some point he had an elephant. Is boxing, he killed the elephant.
Wow.
Yeah.
One time I attended an empowerment, and during that empowerment there was a lot of visualization.
Okay.
And then I asked, why visualization? What does it do? Like that. And that question keep turning in my mind.
Okay.
So then a few days later, I heard on the news, on the NPR,
Okay.
about this one interview. The education did a research. The research went into the prison, different prison system, and interviewed the hardcore criminal,
Okay.
highest criminal.
Okay.
And the surprising result was that they found that all the criminals have a low self-esteem.
Mm.
Right, and the criminal said, well, since I was young, I got beaten, I got called names, so I think of myself as the lowest of lowest, so I can do anything I want. I mean, right, so therefore I think that Devadatta has a low self-esteem, because he cannot see that he's the Buddha, really.
He doesn't recognize his own qualities.
Yeah, he always think that he's lower than Buddha. That's why I think, that's why I'm guessing. So the educator now think that the self-esteem is so important.
Yeah, low
Do
self-esteem.
not beat the kids, do not call them names, and
Yeah, sure.
I work on Tuesday
uh-huh.
in a maximum security prison,
Mm-hmm.
and I work with people that have low self-esteem. And one of the things we do is work with divine pride.
Mm-hmm.
And the warden, after 2 months, the warden came up to me and said, I don't know what you're doing with these guys, but they totally turned against.
Yeah, that's it.
So it's true.
Right. So the Vajrayana offer that very skillful method. It goes directly into the mind.
Right, what do you call it? No, Khenpo was talking about patterns, negative patterns.
Mm-hmm.
So what the Vajrayana does is it goes in and it deconstructs it, or reconstructs the patterns to give you other patterns. Divine.
Anecdote and story that is true. I'm talking about you say when we have real work. This coming from a teacher, a friend of mine. One of his students had a big problem with his family.
Oh, okay.
With wife. Police, jail, everything. And he was suffering a lot. And he used to be a very good practitioner, an excellent practitioner. And he lost practice, he lost meditation, he lost everything. So he was very resentful to the former wife.
Okay.
So this teacher, one day, when he was, complaining, he said, look at her as your best teacher. And look at her as the best opportunity to practice again.
That's true.
And it was exactly like you were saying. All these negative things make this student to be again good practitioner. But it was through this kind of relationship with Vajrayana that he understands that even the most horrible situation is the most precious situation to sit at the best opportunity to learn from we think the awful people or awful situations. That is, I believe that is considered also the Vajrayana practice.
I think it is more related to the impermanence. Impermanence is that when we have sometimes a bad situation, and also it gives hope. It's not always stuck in that it's going to change. Or sometimes if you have bad luck, maybe it's a good luck. This is interesting. When I was in Memphis, it's real too. One of my students, he's working in some company selling the, furnitures. He's saying that, oh, there are bad energies, please come and do something. His business is not doing well. He's at that time some sort of manager. I said, okay, then let's go there. And I went and practiced these rituals, small things. It takes maybe 30 minutes, I don't remember, just about an hour whole. I do some ritual things. And they're looking, the workers look very serious, a strange way of looking at it. Later, a few days ago, I found he fired. Buddhists, you know, priests came and do ritual things in the company is not a good thing. I was feel bad because now he lost the job. But later he's saying that he went to the doctor. The doctor told him, "What are you doing? You've changed your body." He's a little bit ill and sick. His body recovered a lot, much better, he's saying. Still, I'm worrying his job. He said, "Oh, he's feel better. He's not much better, worried." But later, he found a better, situation, job. It's not a horrible thing. But sometimes, if something happened, if we think it's bad, but it's not always it's bad.
But the furniture store is still not doing well, right?
I don't know really. I hope they're doing very well.
I'm just joking.
Yeah, that's. I think that. Well. That's really true. That's a real true story. Oh, sure.
I do believe in karma, of course.
Okay.
And just like everybody say that whatever that a person that you become today is always because of what you did in your previous life. So if somebody do harm to you, it's just because you might have done something really bad to them in the past. I believe all that. So, but I kind of find it very difficult to put it into practice. And for example, if just somebody talk behind your back or calling you bad name, just like, just stuff like that, I think I can handle it. But let's just say like if you go on the street, you see a bad guy, and the bad guy is trying to attack you or trying to do really harm to you, like kill you, rape you, or whatever, then if you really just think about karma, oh, I must have done something bad to this guy, let him do whatever he wants. I don't believe in that.
Oh, okay, that's right. Here, not everything occurs is not related to the karma, previous lives. It says causes and conditions. Causes, some situations relate to the previous lives. And the conditions that we made obstacles, this kind of situation, we can remove it, we can change. Not everything. If you don't have to karma the previous lives. If you touch the fire, not needed to burn the karma previous lives. If you just touch the fire, then it's going to burn your hand. This is, we said, you made the obstacles, the conditions similar. And, that's in the terms using cause the conditions. Not everything occur in this life that relate to the previous something. That's why we can care for our actions. We can remove a lot of obstacles. The careful driving example with mindfulness and other things. We can remove a lot of things.
But for example, so back to that question, the story. So let's just say for self-defense, I just like do some self-defense and he got killed, that bad person got killed. for example.
Yeah, yeah, right.
And then does that mean that, you know, I'm doing bad karma? Because I killed someone.
Oh, okay.
Even that, you know, because of self-defense. I didn't kill him like on purpose, but just because of the self-defense. I fight back and he got killed, for example.
Okay. In this case here, karma has many levels of karma. So when we create a karma, right? The worst thing, you have motivation. If you killed something, you made a plan. You have motivation, oh, I want to kill this. Then you perform the action, you killed. After that, satisfied what you've done. If you do these three things, then you made the very strong bad karma. And if you just by accident kill something, now after that regret, you are not rejoicing what you've done, then we have less karma. Yeah, still it's to be performed as negative action. But good thing, karma, is that we can dissolve it. We can dissolve it. But what? Yeah, we can dissolve it.
Purify.
Yeah, purify our karma. Easily we can, almost time's over. Yeah, time's over. And what I'm saying is that, just using one example, one of my students, now he moved to Texas. I'm not saying I have power to do something, you know, ritual things. But what I'm saying is that sometimes bad situation is not really bad. It's starting in a good situation. If you're losing jobs or something, but it's not losing really horrible things. Maybe you can get better jobs. Yeah. And here, one thing, then we can start. In the teaching saying that negative deeds, bad karma, doesn't have any good qualities except one. If we purified the negative karma, then we can. It has some sort of good qualities. Oh. If we purify the bad karma, then we can't purify it, eliminate it. That is the quality of negative karma.
You get a chance to purify.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
You get a chance to purify.
That's right.
Or also when ripeness is gone, but when time of ripeness is finished in certain examples. If some bad karma have ripened,
oh yeah, then
that means that is gone, yeah?
That's right. If you're not making new karma.
New karma, so of course.
Okay, I think we can do dedicate.
One of the most important things about that is never ever let the never let the anger arise because of that. Anything you do for your living or anything, never let the anger arise. Okay, so never do bodhisattva. That's the most important thing. Any certain thing, the karma you cannot get away with that is vital, but deal with your bodhisattva, but never let the anger. Anger overpower, that's when you lose it. So that's the most important.
Yeah, that's true, that's true. Yeah, I think so.
Page 25, short dedication. The virtues collected in the three
times by myself and all beings, samsara and nirvana.
May I and all sentient beings quickly attain unsurpassed, perfect, complete, righteous enlightenment. May the teachings of the great Khenpo Gawang, who accomplishes the word of the Dharma, master repentance. Continue to increase through study, practice, contemplation, and meditations until we have our samsara.
Thank you, Khenpo Gawang. Thank you, Chichi.
Marvelous point
How's your, from yesterday? Squeeze.